Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by.
We're hanging out with the military man, Vic Martinez. We're going to chat about his online business ways to help you in your business, whatever that would be. Also, we're going to learn from his coaching techniques that hopefully are going to help take your business to the next level. Vic Martinez, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Kenneth. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Great to meet you. Great to be here.
I'm all excited about this. You spent 28 years in the military. That's obviously made you who you are. You were in charge of a huge base, so obviously you know what's going on as far as management. And now you're coaching other people who are maybe entrepreneurs or W-2 or military people who are thinking about going into the 1099 world or entrepreneurial world. I'm going to ask you one thing. I'm going to make it, this is going to be hard. We're going to see if you could think on your feet. What's
Okay.
one thing you would suggest to an entrepreneur to take their business to the next level?
Okay.
That's a tough
Well,
one. Tough one, Vic.
brother, I'm going to tell you, I know the answer. And the answer is you got to get a coach. You got to get a mentor. Okay. My claim to fame in the military and outside the military is I've always had people that have been there, done that, and showed me the way. That is the fastest path to success is you find a coach or mentor who's been there, done that.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. It's very good. Yeah, 'cause even Tiger Woods has a coach. Tom Brady had a coach. Everyone, I mean, to take your business to the next level, take whatever it is to the next level, you have to have someone who's, kind of standing back, looking at whatever you're doing, and also acts as an accountability partner. So, that's very good. You do think in your feet. So, tell me about yourself and your background. I think it'll really add a lot of value to the people who are watching and listening.
Well, as I mentioned, I grew up in Los Angeles, California, joined the military straight out of high school. I was 17 years old, turned 18 in boot camp. And my intention was to do 4 years, but I did very well. My parents were taught me a lot of discipline, which made the military a little bit simpler for me. And it turned out to be a 28-year career. I got promoted. I went up all the ranks and ultimately ran a military base in Southern California. And I've been retired now 14 years, but that experience, like you said, is shaped me who I am. Leaders aren't born, they're made. And so I was very fortunate to have great examples, great coaches, great mentors that showed me the path and helped me along the way. A lot of lessons learned from the military. As I shared with you previously, I got blown up in Iraq 18 years ago. And so it was this month, 18 years ago, September 7th is when I got blown up. And
Mm.
so that was a game changer. That was a 15-month deployment in Iraq. I lost 25 young men. And so when I got out of the military, I just said, wow, life is too short. Not only did I make it back, lost some guys, but I also lost my mom. My mom was battling cancer. I had come back to go through a divorce. I just said, it's time for me to start writing the next chapter of my book, the next chapter of my life, which part of it was starting to write a book. But I wanted to go into business for myself. I just knew I didn't want to work forever. And I think that's most people. I don't think nobody wants to say, man, I want to retire when I'm in my 70s. And so, but for me, that realization came sooner than later. And I just knew the path was business. If you're gonna have any kind of financial freedom, financial success, be able to create your own economy and create your own calendar, you have to be in business for yourself. And so that was my decision, and it's been great. It's been a great decision. So
Huh. Wow. Very good answer. So oh, by the way, before I forget, because I always seem to, how does someone get a hold of you if they're interested in learning about, who knows, anything you're going to be doing in the future or working with you as an example?
yeah, they can reach out, email me or contact me on my cell phone. Either way I can have access. Yeah.
And okay, what's your email?
My email is vic@elitelifestrategy.com.
How do we spell that just in case I don't know how to spell?
Vic, VIC at elite, ELITE, life, LIFE, strategy, STRATEGRY, strategy.
.com. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So, and you work with people all over the country, probably all over the world, again, who are only W-2s or in the government and the military who are looking at potentially going independent after they retire or what have you. And then also you do work with entrepreneurs, C-suite entrepreneurs or C-suite or entrepreneurs who are trying to take their business or assets to the next level.
Yes, yes. Mainly, I love it. It's very rewarding to be able to help people that are employees that want to make that shift from employment to entrepreneurship. And actually, that was the first title of the book that I started writing is maneuvering the mind from employment to entrepreneurship. But yeah, a lot of folks just don't know how to get started. But today in this economy, there are more people right now that have side hustles. I want to say it's 74% of Americans are doing something on the side just to keep up with inflation and interest and everything that's going on. So,
Okay. And so what are some of your kind of chief strategies that you think can help someone who is, let's say someone's a C-suite, they're making whatever, I don't know, $250,000 and they want to, whatever, start a gig. What's some of your consultation kind of that is kind of sometimes your go-to consultation? I know it depends, but you get my question.
yes. Well, I will sit down with them first of all and do an assessment of where they're at and where they want to be. One of the questions that we're commonly asked when we're toddlers, when we're little guys, is at a very early age, we're asked, what do you want to do or what do you want to be? And that's not necessarily the best question, in my opinion. I think the best question is, how do you want to live? And then use that as a starting point. How do you want to live? How much stress do you want? How much income do you want? How much time do you want to invest in something? So helping them design their life and coming up with a strategy for that. And so again, in the business world, obviously there's lots of businesses, lots of ways to make money. And one of the things that I learned early on was that there's two types of businesses: there's the business that you own and the business that owns you. And so that's why my shift into the e-commerce, into the online business made total sense with me, because for many reasons, online is not going away. The e-commerce, internet, technology is here to stay.
Yeah. And tell us about your site, your online site that I think it sounds like it's pretty interesting. Go ahead and, make mention of that.
Yeah, well, I have an online site, and basically I have a direct sales business that I've had for 13 years. And I've been able to scale it from coast to coast. And not only that, but during the pandemic, was able to scale it down into Latin America. So Mexico, Guatemala, Colombia, a handful of countries down there. I'm bilingual, so it's been great to be able to do that.
Oh, nice work. And what is that?
The business
market. What do you market as an example?
Well, here's the other thing. This is something that I wouldn't have thought about by myself. Is my friend had said, if you're going to go into business, and again, this was an entrepreneur, one of my mentors, and he had 28 different endeavors in his lifetime. And so basically he's had hotels and lumber mills and restaurants, shopping malls. And he said his shifting to the online business model was most rewarding, most valuable for him. But the other thing he told me, if you're going to get into business, besides having an online platform, he recommended you sell consumable products. And so that is basically commodities that people need all the time. They're going to buy them, they're going to run out, they're going to buy them again. And that creates a business model that's going to create cash flow, a stream of income coming in, because it's not like something that they're going to buy every now and then. You're not constantly looking for customers. I mean, obviously we take customers all the time, but you're going to have loyal repeat customers because of the nature of the products that we sell.
It's incredible. Like, I remember years ago, a really smart guy when I was working for a company called ING, and he was one of my clients. He's a financial advisor, and we were consulting with him. And he was like, this is years ago. Like, I don't even know, maybe 90. I'm gonna say around 99. And he said, I don't think marketing online and sales online is going to work. Everyone's going to always want to go to a place and buy something. And this guy was wicked smart. And I remember saying to him, and he stopped my presentation when I was talking about online sales, and it's going to be the next big thing. Again, this is around 99. And I remember when he stopped the presentation, I remember, we kind of looked at him. He was a little bit older. I remember everyone in the presentation was kind of young, and I was relatively young. I like to think I'm young now, by the way. And we were kind of looking like, no, we think you're wrong. You know what I mean? I basically almost had to
Yeah,
stop the presentation because he was kind of the leader of all the people in the room. It was kind of funny, but online, I mean, if you're not online in whatever you're doing, yeah, there's an issue there. You got to go online. Just like you and I were talking about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, kind of the next thing. In my opinion, you should combine online X, whatever X is, with AI. You'll end up being that much better off. But yes, being online, there's just no better place. Plus, you'll get ongoing revenue. You probably don't have to, go fix the widget. You could just kind of market the widget online, et cetera, et cetera. It's really the only way to go.
it is. It is. And I love quotes. And Wayne Gretzky had a great quote. People asked him how come he was so successful, and they asked him because he always skated to where the puck was going. And so
Mhm.
you have to look forward and saying, okay, where are we headed? What direction? And you're spot on. AI is not going to go away. Just like e-commerce, internet's not going to go away. And so, yeah, I've had experiences where, my brother years ago said, "I'll never buy a computer. That's a waste of money," or I never buy a cell phone. You know, but I love my brother, but we're two different mindsets, and everything is mindset. That's the other thing that I tell people. It's your mindset, it's mentality. The difference between the haves and the have-nots is just how they think. So it starts with personal development and reading books, and obviously that is a huge part of what I do is personal development. I always say, if you want to earn more, you have to learn more. And really books are instrumental in learning. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Which reminds me, by the way, modernmillions.ai. That's my book, Amazon bestseller, entrepreneurship category. Please take a look at it. But anyway, okay. So now I get where you're coming from a little bit more so. So let's talk about your coaching, because I think it sounds like you're going down I guess the right path towards the puck where it's going to be. So give us a little bit of a flavor about kind of your coaching, and maybe it could help some of those viewers or listeners out there when they hear a little bit about your flavor of your coaching.
Mhm. Well, I coach folks who want to become entrepreneurs that want to make that shift from employment to entrepreneurship. And so that is very rewarding. Personal development goes along with that, passing on my experience, my resources, my systems that I have. And then I coach folks who don't necessarily want to be entrepreneurs, but want to take their career to another level. So a lot of that military experience just goes right into corporate coaching. I just say, from the battlefield to the corporate room, to the boardroom, from the battlefield to the boardroom. Those experiences that I've learned from my 28 years in the military just transfer very well into business. And there's a lot of books. There's a lot of veterans, Navy SEALs and different other veterans that have written books about entrepreneurship. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's a great.
you got an interesting story, because 28 years, I mean, that's not only is that a grind, you can learn a lot from so many different people, et cetera, et cetera. You have a really interesting story. I mean, to be deployed twice, Afghanistan, et cetera, et cetera. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's what I've had a lot of folks that have told me, you should write a book. And so, yeah, the book is a big part of what I want to do. I'll be 60 here next month. And that was one of my goals, to write a book, before I hit my 60. So I'm working to get it done before the end of the year.
You don't look 60. Nice. All right. So how about this? What's one thing, getting ready to close the door on this conversation? What's one thing we have not discussed that you think can help kind of, a person who is a W-2, C-suite, or maybe a military person, and they want to, take their business, or they want to start a side gig? What's one thing we have not talked about that you think can add value to that audience?
Well, I would have to go back to find a coach, find a mentor, find something
Hmm.
that that you want to do, and find somebody who's been successful at it. So that is the fastest path to success, and you have to really take time to investigate and learn and ask questions. A lot of folks also one of the things that I share with people is you have to have patience. One of the reasons why some businesses don't succeed is people want results right away, and it just doesn't work that way. It takes time to build something. It takes time to build the clientele. It takes time to understand your business and really get it out there. And so a lot of folks just don't have that patience. So I think those are two key things that you have to have. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to have some patience, And again, the fastest path is to get a coach. Yeah.
I do agree with that. I mean, one, just like we talked about, coaching makes sense. And yeah, you're right. I think people think, oh, it's been 6 months and I'm not seeing huge revenue. It takes time. And if you wait, who knows, maybe another 6 months, maybe that can turn in the next Google. It totally makes sense what you're saying. It really is. One last time, how does someone get a hold of you if they're interested?
Yes. My cell number is 202-460-6484. And my email is vic@elitelifestrategy.com.
Sweet. Wow. I would say Vic's got an interesting story, people. He really does. If you have a problem getting a hold of him for any reason, although you won't because he gave his cell phone, reach out to us here at vastsolutionsgroup.com. Once again, this is Kenneth French, Vast Voices, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.
And thanks so much.